Okay, onward. Okay, next item is the discussion on the work process. So I did not get a chance to check with you beforehand. Do you want to just read through this, or do you want to go through? I have a couple of charts I made last month I could show if you'd like, or do you want to talk? Do you have a presentation in mind, or how do you want to?
We don't have, we hadn't prepared anything formally for this discussion. David, do you want to take the conversation? I know you're passionate about this.
Well, last meeting in August, we gave everybody a copy of the initial rough draft. And edits, thoughts, some corrections were added back. We met, two of us, and folded them in and made a draft and submitted it to the city manager's office, and it was put on the website. I think there's a copy of it here. In August, we asked, pure and simple, to move things along. Here it is, look at it, give us inputs, we'll give it a final draft, and we'd ask for an up or down vote. There was, at the time, no official commission-approved ad hoc committee to do that. Gary had volunteered, others had volunteered, and we just followed through with what we asked in August. You've done some work, and I think we were working strongly in parallel because many of us, from the feedback we got, were all impatiently wanting some sense of structure and process to operate more efficiently. This is it. It's on the table. But from the official agenda that was posted, first there must be an authorized committee to do some work, to put something before the commission, to review, and to approve, and so on. Personally, I'm looking for a way to kind of expedite something that's workable forward so that we can move on and expand on this with work that might affect greater efficiency and organization in other areas like agendas and how ad hoc committees do work, reach out to city staff, and reach out to community. There's a lot of work that can be added to this. It was stated last August, and to others since, that this is just a stake in the ground
Right.
to kind of start something, and that this could be amended, added to, or improved 3-6 months down the line with more thoughtful considerations. So that's where we're at the moment. How we go forward is a function of what the agenda provides, what you would all like to do, and how strongly you feel about what you want to do, and what's permissible.
Question? Yes, comment?
So is this a document that you would like the commission to approve? Yeah.
The answer is yes, but
Okay. So I think we've all reviewed it. It was provided in advance, and I really like it and the effort that went into it. And of course, it's a first draft, and it will be approved, and I'm sure we'll modify it over time. So I'm in favor of approving it.
I second it.
Was that a motion for approval?
Okay. I didn't know I was going to get the second, so yes, I motion for approval.
Discussion. This is going faster than I thought it would.
I'd like to thank David and
Nicole.
Nicole for doing this, because I can hardly wait to put it into the hands of, it was a draft, so I couldn't put it in their hands, for the people who are going to come next, our caucus people that are coming to think about joining this. Because, we joined this and we didn't know what it was, 8 years ago. And the other thing is, well, maybe I can't say it now. Later. But I think it's good enough to go.
So, again, kudos to both Nicole and David for pulling this together. The only thing I would ask, as a part of the motion, is that we schedule for a review in, say, 4 or 6 months, and we just kind of put it on the calendar for us to come back and see what else we add to it. Start running.
I guess I'm a little worried it has so many forms in the back. It seemed a little too formalized. I don't know if I need to get a letter from each commissioner at the end of each meeting what they want to add next time, or am I misreading that? But
The draft was put together as a suggestion. It was put together as an offering of mechanisms, tools, and methodology for conducting some business and engaging everybody.
Right.
We come to these meetings, and it's not easy to get, you're doing much better, and we're getting more comments and engagement and from everybody, but they were brought forth as a means to kind of solicit what some people sit and think about, but you don't get.
Right.
so, Juan?
So, two things. One is, I saw this poster and it said done is better than perfect. And so, like the work plan calendar, it's a good start, I think. And do I have to formally accept the modification to the motion? And if so, then I do.
What was the modification?
It was just that we go and schedule like a 4 or 6 month review of this and kind of to deal with the questions,
Okay, so in other words, where I had on the calendar already for next month, October, we'll postpone that until January or something like that, as a follow-up instead? Or February, something like that?
Right.
Okay?
I really like the suggestion of coming back and having another look at it, but I'm really in favor of it. The only thing I'd put on the form is maybe to address the comment about it being having a form, and it's pretty prescriptive. Put something at the other comments at the end, and you can skip the whole form and just write your comments loosely if you felt that way. Because I don't think the form is intentional to be overly prescriptive, but I think what you've done is you've found a lot of very important areas where that doesn't necessarily surface in the normal course of conversation. So I like the form, but I may decide, well, I'm going to answer 5 of these, and then I'm going to put my other comments down here. Something like that.
I have to honestly say, yes, I would like to have it approved tonight, but I must confess, as we authored it, as I kind of sketched out some of the framework months and months ago, the language in this speaks to the city manager and the senior staff and our terms for how we'd like to do business. My question is, have we given the city manager, the senior staff, and others within City Hall a chance to look at this, comment on it? We haven't sat face-to-face and talked with them. In this document, we're expressing kind of how we would like to do business. But I think if it's really going to be functional, it has to be agreed by both parties. And that can't be done if we approve it tonight.
It can.
So might I make a suggestion also, because it's been worked on by commissioners, but it has not also been reviewed by legal counsel. So that's one box that needs to be checked if it's going to be a formal document that guides the work of the commission. The other piece is what you're speaking about. So I think you can approve it as a concept, and then you can give direction to the subcommittee, and perhaps make the subcommittee a little bit more formal, especially if you're going to come back in 4 to 6 months, and give direction to staff and the subcommittee to come back with a final document after meeting with
Right.
the folks at City Hall and getting feedback from the attorneys.
Right.
So if I understand, you're suggesting that this could be approved tonight as a concept document to be used until.
Great.
It's a pilot draft.
Thank you.
It's a pilot draft, a working
I
draft.
don't know the terms, but
Yeah,
that works.
that works for me as your staff.
You want to call it working draft and accept it then?
I don't know what the language is.
Yeah.
I like your language, work product development process, you know. What,
Work product
That's
development
what it-
process draft.
Okay, any other discussion?
I'm told I have to amend my motion, and I do, to incorporate everything that the city manager's office recommended. It'd be great if we could.
Okay, and the seconder, let's see, who was the seconder?
Norma?
Okay, you agree with the? Yes. Okay, I guess I'll call the question. All in favor, say aye.
Do you have
Aye.
Aye. Sorry, what?
any, no.
No, I had no
It
question.
wasn't A, it was I.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Good job.
I think we have
You're good.
working draft processes on communications. Yeah.
Congratulations.
So,
And who is the subcommittee?
so it is David and Nicole. Anybody else want to help?
We know.
Gary
And Gary?
offered to chair it, and I would,
No, I think you guys.
Oh, Gary.
Come on, get in front of the press.
Gary.
Another thing was, it's overcome by events, and I
So-
think you guys got the gist of this. I don't see where I have any value added.
So David, you're stuck.
we haven't even started.
No, really, no, really. I think you guys.
Okay, so-
You got the germ here. I think
I'd like to play on
continue
that.
with it.
Yes.
Do we
You
have
want-
the right to reproduce it and to hand it out
Yes.
Yeah.
to people who are
Yes. Yep.
interested in becoming neighborhood commissioners at our next caucus?
It's
Thank you.
posted on the official website now.
Public.
That's one of the things that we've been trying to figure out is how to get information out there. And now that we have new interim staff, maybe you should would you like to introduce yourself now?
Well, I'll wait till mine. I'm at all that.
One other
but I'll-
question.
But she has a website. So one of the things that we've been fighting with for the last year is how to get the information out there. She is getting it up on the official city website now. Another thing is how to get the things on our agenda. And so we're formalizing that. And that's what the work plan is. And the last item on the agenda each time is to discuss the agenda for the next time. So that's where we take items off that work plan and fold in comments from here. And then that then percolates around and becomes the agenda for the next month. And so we're trying to incorporate some of the things that, it's been frustrating for all of us for a number of years. And this is formally putting in writing and trying to solve the frustration, I believe, right? At least that's how I'm interpreting it. Yes.
One last question, comment. There's been a number of comments about how something like this could help those considering to be neighborhood leaders or members of the commission. And it would help people who are considering going through the process to be commissioners and once on board, understanding how it works. If this is good enough for acceptance tonight and being a preliminary pilot draft, and we represent the community, would it not make sense that, and could it be possible that this be translated into the two primary languages of our community so that neighborhood leaders can share it with people who, and their families, who want to know what we're doing, how we do it, and who we are?
Great idea.
I don't know the answer to that question, I'm asking it.
What, Spanish and Vietnamese?
No, English and Spanish.
Well, did you mean two additional languages?
Yeah.
or-
Just into two languages,
Okay, at least.
or whatever makes sense,
Which does
whatever,
that translate into, which means two others in addition to English?
Government.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, well then.
so that neighborhoods could share it.
I think it'd be great if we had Vietnamese as well as Spanish and English, of course, started in English. Each community in Vietnam.
I'd recommend waiting until 4 months after so we refine it first.
Just ask you.
Yeah.
Good point.
I'll explore the feasibility and see what budget we have. I know nothing about our budget yet, since I just got this assignment, but we'll look into the feasibility. At a minimum, though, what I will commit to you is that we will add more information to the website for the Neighborhood Commission about what the Neighborhood Commission is, and we'll get some of that translated into Spanish and Vietnamese in the short term.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you.
Okay,
So can I go back? Who is the committee? Me, David, Pete?
Pete, you're on it?
Who else?
Norma was on that last time.
Norma?
You on?
Who else is on the process?
Volunteered last month.
The process?
Come back in
This
4
document?
months? To come back in, what, 4 or 5 months with a follow-up?
You don't have to. No pressure.
In the minutes, isn't it?
Yes?
I will do
Okay.
Okay.
charge to do.
Okay, great.
But I
What you
volunteer
signed
to
up
do.
for in a week.
Okay.
Call Pete and Norma, yep.
So that was the discussion on the work process, defining work process for establishing subcommittees, including discussion of roles, protocols, and report out procedures. Is that all in there? That is all in there. Consider formation and direction of ad hoc committee and to create. So we have done the ad hoc committee, but it's not to do the thing. We've actually adopted it already tonight. This is the ad hoc committees to
Good.
kind of shepherd it and come back in a few months and see how it's working. Correct?
Informal
Yes.
adoption.
Okay.
Formally adopt, yep.
Okay, next thing. Preliminary discussion on the issue of homelessness, including the option of forming and providing direction to a subcommittee on the Neighborhoods Commission. I guess one question, are they subcommittees or committees? I mean, we're commissions, so I'm used to using subcommittee, but it is actually committee, isn't it? Or
It's an ad hoc.
doesn't matter.
It's technically, everybody's calling them ad hoc subcommittees, so
I'm happy.
It is.
Anyhow, so,
The word we use.
I'm glad you mentioned that, Nicole. I can remember as he went through this, I raised my hand and I said, I thought you were talking about the homeless. You guys remember that? And then Larry said, so you are not on the work plan. I said, that is correct. I agree to do the homeless.
Okay.
so you're not on.
I don't know,
I
no,
will-
but we approved
We'll
the minutes.
miss
I
you.
think you're there now.
Come back. Please come back to us.
I want to be fair. I want to be fair and I want to be responsible.
Who takes Norma's place then?
I'm so glad that I have not heretofore been responsible, and that is because I know what I said.
So you're not on the work plan committee, you're on the homeless committee.
Yeah.
Okay, I crossed your name off my minutes here then.
I raised my hand incorrectly and corrected it. I corrected it at the meeting. And by the way, Dave, your name is not on here.
Yeah.
Marie just pointed that out.
I don't know. So that was my informal notes, and apparently I made a mistake in my informal notes, and now please correct it that Dave was on it. I just try to count, when everybody's writing their names so fast.
We traded.
So, sorry about that. So